In this CSS video, we're going to go over the CSS not selector. Now, the CSS not selector is a very important and a very useful selector in CSS. Now, you can use the not selector to target a particular element on your web page, and you can also use this not selector to exclude some other elements on your web page that you don't want to get affected with that styles. All right. So as you can see here on our index.html, we have an unordered list with a list item. Now, the purpose of this video won't be about us styling this list item. It won't be about us styling this button. You can see they are all buttons here. So we have talked about button in our past tutorial. So I just want to give you an example on how this not CSS selector works. All right. So let's go to our styles.css and get started quickly. So you specify our unordered list, and after this unordered list, you call our list item. Now, just like the int child selector, the not selector is also a pseudo selector. So we use the colon to kickstart our not CSS selector. So you specify your colon, and then you say not, and then it also comes with a parenthesis. So you specify your parenthesis. And one other thing that I want to let you know that is the int child selector and the not CSS selector can actually work hand in hand. So we are going to be putting the int child selector inside of this not selector. So you specify inside this parenthesis. Now you specify your colon, and then you say int child, and then the int child also comes with a parenthesis. So you put your parenthesis, and then inside this int child parenthesis you specify 1. So what we are going to be styling this, we are going to give it a display of none. Now we want to hide all these list items except one list item. So by giving this list item a display of none, what we are simply saying here is, we are simply saying hide all these list items but not the first list item. So that's why we specify the int child selector inside of this not selector, and the first int child of this list item is the home list item here. So if this works, if we refresh and if this works, all of the list items will be gone, but the home list item, which is the first list item of course, will remain. So if we refresh now you can see the rest of our list items are gone, but our home list item is still here. So we have used this not selector to hide all of our list items on our web page, but we kept the first list item by specifying 1 inside of this int child parenthesis. So for example, let's remove this one. Let's remove the 1 inside of the parenthesis. Now if we refresh back, now everything is back. So let's say we want to remove all of this. We want to remove all of this list item, but we want to keep the second list item, which is the about. So let's say we want to keep the about list item. We just specify 2 inside of the parenthesis. So if we refresh now you can see all the list items are gone except our about list item. So that is how you use the int child selector and the not selector to target elements on your web page. And like I said, the int child selector can also work with the not selector. They also move hand in hand together. All right. So this is the CSS not selector, and you can also use the not selector to target paragraphs, h2, h1 and images. But this is a very useful way that you can use the not selector to target elements on your web page. So the not CSS selector can be very helpful. You can use especially when building your project, and especially when working with the navbar. You may want to hide bunch of list items on your navbar and leave one particular list item on your navbar. So in our future tutorial, there will come a time when I'll build a website. Yeah, I'll build a website, a full responsive website, where we'll be working with the navbar, images and all that. So we'll be using this not selector for our navbar. All right. But that will be it for this video concerning the CSS not selector. I hope you find this video useful. I will see you guys in the next video.